Sometimes you don't want to show up. I want to go to the beach, I want to go to the bar, like whatever. Usually at those moments also when you show up, when you didn't want to, you go a bit further, If you want to culture like a positive way of living, start with the body. Be curious about what is this life? Who am I?
Hello everybody and welcome to another podcast. Now today I'm really excited to be introducing you to somebody that I literally met about a week ago. His name is Rami and he's from Finland, and we actually met in a cheese and chocolate. I say cheese and chocolate factory, but it's called Deli Devi, and it's a cheese and chocolate vegan kind of like mini restaurant. And we was in there the other day literally having this beautiful conversation about tantra, about spirituality, and I must admit, just being in this man's presence really ignited something very deep within me, and I came away from that conversation just feeling so high on life, and so maybe had such a confirmation that there are so many beautiful men out there that can open up and just have a conversation about things like tantra, relationships, health, consciousness. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Rami on. Rami, thank you so much, mate. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Brett. Honestly, an honor to be here, Yeah. It's my first podcast ever. And it was so amazing how we met in Deli Devi. And
it was amazing.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor.
Even just that moment there. This is like, I don't know if you'll feel this on the camera, but just there, you've just got such a lovely grounded presence. It makes me feel calm,
Wow. Thank you.
What's
honestly.
your secret?
Relaxation, bro.
Yeah?
Just like letting your whole body relax, like all of your cells, your mind, your conscious mind, your thinking, your muscles, relax.
Yeah, amazing.
It's about that,
Our camera guy, Antonio, who's doing all the filming for the podcast, he's really into Qigong, and he's really like, Brett, just relax. And ever since he's told me that, I ride my motorbike and I realise like, oh, my right shoulder or my left shoulder is a bit tense. And so now I'm constantly coming back to relaxation. So he uses Qigong. What do you use for relaxation?
Yes.
What's your secret?
So I use traditional tantra yoga.
Okay.
We have a holistic system that we practice. It consists of asanas, pranayama, bandhas practice, and maybe I said already, but massage.
Nice.
We do a lot of massage. Walking massage, Thai massage.
Nice.
But the most important thing is like for us, the asana practice,
And for people that don't know anything about yoga, asana means...
So, well, asana, in a modern way, you could say it's a posture.
Yeah.
But in the traditional, we think of it as something else. It's like a container for the spirit.
Ooh.
So in the asana practice, we don't do it in a way that the modern world sees maybe asana, like physical, like posture.
Like what you see on Instagram nowadays, like just lots of physical yoga handstands.
Exactly.
Which is called asana, but you're saying there's a deeper traditional...
I'm not saying that those ways are like wrong or bad, anything like that.
Yeah.
Depends on what you want, what you need, but what we do is pure relaxation.
Nice.
And is meditation with every cell of your body,
Meditation with every cell of your body. I love that. I'm just thinking of the mini cells in my body all just meditating now.
They are.
So you're here because you, not just in the podcast, but you're actually in Thailand, we're on Koh Phangan, because you are on a 6-week tantra retreat. And I just want to be like really honest. Like, well, a lot of people, when they think tantra, they might just think it's some kind of like sex. And I know that's what I would have thought of years ago.
Yeah.
Now I know so much more about what tantra is. It's such a beautiful gift. What's the tantra retreat that you're on, and what's the kind of tradition, and why are you on it?
I can tell everything that I know. I'm still not like a teacher, not a guru, not a master, but I feel that I have a lot of knowledge with the practice for many years now. So I share what I know, bro.
Yeah, perfect.
So tantra for us, it means essence. Mm-hmm. It's not like... it's essence. It's about dissolving all the things that are in front of the essence. So what you learned from your parents, from school, from society, from culture, all the traumas that has happened even when you were a kid, all the tension, all the stress that has like built up in your muscles, in your body, all these memories and traumas, and the conditionings, they are in your body. So with tantra, we release our past that is in the muscles to get in touch with the essence and to express this essence in the world.
It's beautiful.
So that's how I would give like a brief introduction.
Yeah. and so again, and I'm gonna this is the last time I'll mention it.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's having sex with each other. It's
Yeah.
yours. There's a lot deeper, because if in the Western world, you know, even sex is a taboo kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know there are some tantras which they practice these things, and they're
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I always think tantra is two people coming together as one.
Yes.
To a higher consciousness. But this isn't the kind of thing that you're doing at the tantra retreat. You're generally healing, transforming.
Yes. So what we do there is all these practices that I mentioned.
Yeah.
But of course, like sex is a big part of life.
Yeah.
It's part of our tradition. But in the ashram, we don't like practice these things. Of course, it's up to anyone what they want to practice.
Yeah.
But this is like not our focus in the program, you know.
I think the reason why I share that, I mean, if I'm honest, when I went to my first tantra retreat years ago, like I had that mindset. I was like, oh, tantra's a great place to meet some girls, maybe. And, you know, I was very new at the path. And,
Yes.
you know, I've come from a crazy background with lots of ladies and parties and drugs. So, like, I heard of tantra, and all I knew was like, oh, it's something to do with two people coming together and sex and stuff, and you'll learn some tricks.
Yes.
So I actually went to the first workshop, and it was full of men. And I was like,
Many had the same idea.
And do you know what? But on a serious note, that was the best thing I ever did. Because I just really heard other men talk about their insecurities, talk about their shadows. And so as a man, obviously we're men, you know, how do you feel like tantra has kind of improved you or as a person?
Yes, well, this is also a good topic. Like, we talk a lot about the two opposing forces, or not maybe opposing, but balancing forces in the cosmos.
Yeah.
So we would say Shiva and Shakti, yin yang, but also that is within us, masculine and feminine. So I feel like with the practice, for me, I have getting like more in touch with my masculinity, strengthen my yang energy. I feel like I've been more I was never like this super masculine man. I was always like, even when I played football, ice hockey, any of these things, I never felt like super comfortable with this like really masculine kind of vibes. I'm still not like that, and I don't need to be.
No.
But I can still find this strong kind of energy that is different than this more maybe soft energy, you know.
Yeah, I love that.
So maybe finding some balance within me, and also realizing that you can choose what to feed. Like if you know that you are more on this side, but you can choose, okay, if I want to strengthen my masculinity, I can just do actions that strengthen that. So that's one thing that comes to mind, you know.
I love that. I was having a conversation with a friend this weekend about parenting. He's got a beautiful child, amazing friend. And we was talking about, I've come from a very masculine background. You know, my dad was such a geezer, and I love him, and I would never change anything. I've learned so much. And the more I've gone on this, whatever we want to call this kind of awakening spiritual journey, I'm still learning like everyone else. I felt now I can be more comfortable in vulnerability and femininity and stepping into that. But the reason why I was mentioning that is because he was saying that he really wants to like play with cars and like fighting with his son to kind of bring that. And it did make me think, is that what masculine is? Like, you know, fast cars and like being rough. Because for me, like coming from both sides of it now, like being very in that kind of like masculine energy, and now in like, I wouldn't, and I'd love just to hear what you say. Like, I just wouldn't feel like fast cars and fighting and playing isn't what a man is to me. I mean,
Yeah.
for some men it must be. It's beautiful.
Yeah, seems like that.
Yeah, it seems like it, and that aggressive energy, and but I just would like to kind of mention to other men that's like,
Yes.
oh, actually, really, that isn't me.
Yeah.
But that's okay as well. Like maybe it's
Exactly.
not us. You know, we can
Accept it, like,
feel,
embrace it.
Exactly, I feel like such a man.
Yeah.
But I feel such like feminine. But I don't have to go and fight with each other. I don't have to have the fast cars. I feel very grounded in that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an inner strength. It's just more of a being. Actually, no, I'm a being rather than a man or a female. I'm just like generally comfortable in the essence, which you do.
Complete being.
Complete being. Yeah.
Complete being.
Yeah.
But what comes to my mind also is like, I'm just trying to figure out what masculinity even is like.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even know.
Yeah.
I always thought, okay, if it's this aggressive cars, football, fast cars, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like for me, that's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just trying to figure out what that is for me, you know.
I love that. And that's what the whole journey is, figuring it out, right? Is that why you're kind of on the tantra retreat and on this path then, just figuring it out?
I didn't really go to this retreat with this in my mind, like not at all. I went to deepen my yoga practice, deepen my asana practice, learn about just like to make it like a really like a daily tantric lifestyle.
Like a way of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I also learned that, okay, then you just like, then you see within yourself when you do these things. And then you are like, okay, maybe this masculinity is something that I can focus on actually.
I love that. How did you get into yoga and tantra from the first place? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I love this question.
Yeah.
Well, I remember maybe I was 17, 18. I just saw like enlightenment somewhere, like a word.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to figure this shit out. Like, what is this? Then I started to see meditation, yoga, but I didn't go to any classes. But after some time, I actually maybe took a lot of psychedelics. Then I started to feel more connection with the divine, starting to really open my consciousness. But then I wanted to figure out a way to ground the divine kind of experience. And then I was like, okay, yoga, I'm really like interested, I'm curious, I need to like do this. And then I went to a first class. It was Astanga.
Ashtanga is quite physical.
Yes.
Full on class.
Yes.
That's how I started, yeah.
Yes.
It's hardcore.
That's what I did first.
Yeah.
And I really loved it, like so much. But then I did it for maybe, I don't remember, it was like 6 years ago, I think. So then I did it maybe 2 months, but then my friend, who was really like on the same journey as me, and we shared everything. Should we do this? What about this? What about God? What about yoga, meditation? What should we do? And then he went to like a yoga festival. And then this tradition that I practice here, our Finnish teacher was on the yoga festival giving a class. And my friend, he went to all different classes, but this one, traditional tantra, he was like, Rami, if you want traditional yoga, go there.
Wow, man.
And then I went there, and I stick with it.
Yeah. What was the first class like? Because at the end you do a pose called Shavasana, right? Or you meditate, like.
First, they do it in a way that they give you like an introduction. So they explain in really like a brief way what our tradition is, where it comes from, why we do it, how we do it. And really important part is that don't like push yourself. Enjoy. Don't push at all. Like relax. Everything else you see around, you go to the shopping mall, workplace, this and that, everyone is pushing. So here, don't do it. That's the way to get the benefits, not to push. So then they give you this tridosha, balancing class. We are really much in Shavasana, and we breathe really deep breaths in and out, mouth closed, only through the nose. And then we do this really beautiful asana sequence, but we are a lot in Shavasana.
Amazing.
And then after I left, I really, to be honest, I don't remember like the first class, like how it felt, but it must have been really harmonious and balanced because I stick with it. I went more, and
Now you're on a 6-week tantra retreat in Thailand. Like, it's insane.
And it became my dream, because it really became major part of my lifestyle in Helsinki to practice 3, 4, 5 times a week. I went to a yoga teacher training in Finland, and now my teacher in Finland, now he lives here actually.
Okay.
And he teaches us metaphysics and like anatomy and everything here now.
In Thailand, in Copenhagen,
yes. So it's been like a full circle moment,
I love that when that happens, and there's so many more questions I want to ask from all this, like it goes off. I think the one thing that I would like to share is the pushing. Guys, I know you're enjoying the video, but I've got a quick question for you. Are you okay with that monkey mind being a monkey? We've all got this voice inside the head, or voices filled with self-doubt, criticism, judgment. But most people don't understand how important it is to master that monkey mind. So look, if you've got a monkey mind or a voice that is just busy inside your head and it never seems to shut up, I know exactly how you feel. And thankfully, I found meditation about 20 years ago. And so, I have an amazing opportunity for you. It's the Bodhi Meditation Teacher Training Program. This 10-week program is designed to share with you 8 Bodhi meditations. And the amazing thing about these meditations is that they are scientifically proven to help you reduce stress, reduce anxiety, uplift your mood, boost your energy. In other words, create that kind of lifestyle, that energy and that health and that happiness that most people crave. Over the course of 10 weeks, I'm going to be your meditation coach. And at the end of this course, you're going to become a certified Bodhi meditation teacher. That means that you can coach people one-to-one, you can work from anywhere in the world, build online courses, or even teach meditation at yoga retreats or anywhere you decide. So click that link below and together will open up your heart so that you wake up feeling positive and literally this buzz for life. The link is below. Now you can get back to your video. Have an amazing day. Kind of like, it's like forcing, we're trying to force things to happen, whether it's a relationship, making money, our health. And I do feel like it's good to have the motivation and the drive. But there is definitely a fine line of then you're trying to force it and you're kind of like trying to make life work for you sometimes. And there's a funny story. Me and the cameraman, Antonio, we were doing some YouTube videos a few weeks back, maybe a month ago. And everything kind of didn't really work out. So I came back from the beach and there was like a big tractor outside digging the sand up. And so there's loads of loud noise. So we couldn't film because it was too noisy outside. Yeah. And then we was going to do something else and it didn't work. And in the end, it was like, well, let's go film somewhere else. So we drove Antonio's car up the kind of hill. And then as we got there, there's something on the bottom of the car, like some plastic. It like ripped off of his car. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't be doing it. And then I turned around and I stepped on something and I cut all of my foot. Shit. And we kind of looked at each other like, I think we're trying to...
What are we doing?
What are we doing? So we literally booked a massage and we went for a spa. Didn't we, bro? And it is literally... and he just said downstairs, it was like, that was the best massage I think I had. And I was like, yeah, actually. And my mind started to have other insights about other business things or life or whatever. It's just like, I just surrendered. What I'm trying to say is we surrendered instead of forcing it. Exactly. And the universe was even trying to tell us to not do the filming and go and have a bloody massage for the day.
That's the exact point.
Yeah.
Like you started to talk about forcing and I also talk about like this pushing, like don't do it.
Yeah.
So what do you do then if not pushing? Yeah. Surrender.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty.
For the friends that we've kind of grown up with, maybe they're not into tantra, so now we're kind of on our journey.
Yeah.
If you say to them, surrender, don't force things, they'll be like, what are you on about? So what would you have a tip for somebody to sort of like, how would you even start that? Like not force it. For me, it would just be becoming aware of it. But like, what would you say? I'd be curious to hear what you have to say.
Wow, good question. Hard to say, honestly. Maybe just like stop. Like, what if you just try not to do anything? Just give yourself a moment to really stop and see what happens. Like, don't go any direction.
Mm.
Don't listen to your thoughts. At least don't believe them.
Yeah.
And don't like with your emotion, just like see what happens if you just be still. Be curious and just try to be like, give this open space. Invite yourself to the silence.
I love this, man. The cameraman, Antonio's nodding, he's going,
Yeah.
he's so into the Tao and this kind of way of life as well.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a great book by Yogi Nityananda, and he basically says, even if you was allowed to have 30 days off of work, and then you went and laid in your bed, he said, I give you 24 hours and you would get bored, or your intelligence would want to eat, or your intelligence would want to go to the toilet. He said, so what we do is we surrender, but in that surrendering, then the intelligence will start speaking. Oh, now it's time to eat. Now it's time to phone my friend. Now it's time to book a tantra retreat. And I feel like we've kind of lost that so much because we are forcing and we're not really listening to the intelligence. It's like you said, I love that. Don't believe in them. Don't listen to them, but don't believe in them. We're so running on this. And maybe we've just not stopped for a moment.
Yes.
And it's okay to stop because, again, the intelligence isn't just going to lay there all day. It's going to actually get inspired. It's going to want to move and grow. And so, yeah, I think the message we could love to share to people is like, well, trust your intelligence, you know?
What would you say that is this intelligence?
We had Nancy on a podcast, and she was talking about the self and the I, whatever she was, and I said that to her. I was like, well, what is it then? What is it? I would never be able to label it. I think the word God, intelligence, higher power are just us trying to describe something which is so beautiful and undescribable. I think for me, it's when I do my practice, and for me, it's meditation. I feel something, and I feel like I can surrender and I can trust that. Not perfect. I still have this ego that wants to force. So I still have patterns and behaviors, but it's 20 times better than where it's ever, million times better than where it's ever been. So yeah, I don't know. It's just an intelligence, maybe. I don't know. It's a great question. I'm always the one asking that question.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you say it is?
Hard to say. Is maybe the essence.
Yeah. What's
Soul.
the essence?
Source, God, higher self.
Yeah.
All these words sound good to me.
Yeah. I think they sound great. And
It's something deeper than your what is here, you know?
Yeah.
It's not your thought, not your emotion. It's like intuition, some guidance.
Yeah.
It's yourself, your true self. It's really hard to put in the words, you know?
And I think when you try to put it in words, you kind of limit it, right?
Yes.
Again, I was asking,
Yes.
I texted Antonio and I said, we'll get you on the podcast because he's always behind the camera filming me, right? For years we've been working together. I'm like, right, we're going to get you on the podcast and put the camera in you. And it was something like, we talk about the Tao. And he's like, you can't talk about it. Or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, boom.
That's right.
It would be a podcast in
That's
silence,
right.
just sitting there.
Yeah.
I always thought
But
that.
that's
like,
a vibe.
Totally,
That's a vibe.
right? Yeah. If I did marketing for my retreats, I'd be like, come to the retreat. We're not going to do anything for 7 days.
Yeah.
We won't speak. We won't end it. But I don't know if people would sign up. I've got to try and get them in. And when they get there, then we are just silent.
Yes.
We say silence and we say the surrendering, but there is so much more in it, right? Like when you're in that, it might be silent as what we would think is like noise or music or thoughts, but there is something so louder. The essence or God talks to you so much louder, right? I guess when you're in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing, man. So what's kind of next for you then? Like, are you going to continue this journey with the Tantra path, or would you want to become a teacher? Because
Yeah.
sitting with you in that Delhi Devi, talking to you now, like you've got a very lovely presence.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're very
really
calm.
grateful to hear.
Yeah,
you know?
no, you really calm me down. I'm 100 miles an hour.
But your energy is like super clear, this positive force, you know?
Oh, nice, bro. So
Yeah.
would you be a teacher? Is that your plan? Are you want to teaching people, or are you just really enjoying your practice?
To be honest, I'm not really sure.
Nice.
I go with the flow. Like, I have had a plan for years that should I be a yoga teacher? But then I always did other jobs, and I felt that maybe it would like conflict with my practice. I don't want my whole life and calendar to be about teaching yoga, practicing yoga, this. But still, this is really really important for me. So I think when the next opportunity comes, I will guide the class.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny
So
how-
yes,
You
but yeah.
go with the flow, like kind of exactly what we're talking about, really. Just you're trusting,
Yeah.
surrendering.
Not trying to make it like a career, like my number one source of income.
Yeah.
But if someone invite me to give a class, next time I will go.
Maybe we'll get you on one of our retreats when we. Be
I
an
would-
honor to bring you over,
Oh,
mate.
wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would love that.
Yeah.
You know, I have given classes to my friends and they always love it. They're
Nice.
like amazing, you know.
Yeah. I remember teaching, like when I first got into it, I kind of, again, I was forcing it, I would say. Not in a negative way, but I have that kind of energy where I'm like, all right, let's go for it and share it.
That's amazing.
Which is
you know.
beautiful. But then I realized that I was teaching it every day and then it was my life. And it's like, oh, wow, actually, this was really like a practice that I enjoyed and it become a bit of a job.
Yes.
And it kind of like, I still enjoy it and I still do it, but I did notice that. I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, so I wouldn't say I would want to be that teacher, that kind of guide as much as it's like it's your full-time job because, yeah, maybe sometimes when it becomes a job, it does take a little bit of a weight. For me anyway, in my experience. Yeah.
Yes.
So I totally relate to what you're saying.
Yes. And I have heard this from so many teachers. So then I decided like, I'm going to work here and I'm going to do my practice, you
Yeah.
know. But still, I want to share this
See where
because
it
it's
goes.
so beautiful, you know.
So for any men, let's
Yes.
just say men that have never done yoga, like
Yes.
we're in the gym, because I used to be a gym
Perfect.
freak. Yeah, for
Yeah.
any men that's kind of at home, they've never done yoga and we're just two guys talking on a podcast.
Yes.
It can feel a bit weird, you know. We're going in a room full of women doing all this yoga stuff, talking about spirituality and God.
Fascinating.
Yeah. For me, it's just like the best buzz in the world. It's definitely the journey that you're
Or
on.
a panic attack for some.
I actually went to my first yoga class because I remember I was going to the gym and a lady said to me, Brett, you really should come to the yoga. I think it'd be great for you. And I was like, why would I go there? It's full of women.
Yeah.
As soon as that came out of my mind, I was like, oh, what time is it? And I literally got to this class. It was in Bournemouth in the UK. And I got to this class and I was the only guy in this room. This was like 12, 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now it's everywhere. But back
Yes.
then, I'd never heard of yoga or any of this stuff.
Yes.
And I went into this class and it was about 30 women and just me on my own. I was like, this is brilliant. But then on a serious note, heaven, yeah. I laid in that Shavasana at the end of yoga. If you've never practiced it before,
Yes.
there's it's called corpse pose, Shavasana. You lay down for
Yes.
5 minutes. And again, I just felt all of the feelings and the sensations or whatever was going on in the body. And then the mind, everything just relaxed. And I went into this is why I think I resonate with you, this presence that you've got, this essence. And I was hooked. And that was it. I was like, wow.
Wow.
It was so beautiful. So yeah, so back to my question.
Yeah.
What would you say to the guys that kind of thinking, oh, it's a bit weird. I don't want to go to a yoga class.
Drop that bullshit and just try it, you
Nice.
know. Like, come on, like yoga is such an ancient, deep, beautiful practice.
Yeah.
So why would you even think about female, male, whatever? Like
Yeah.
just try it, then feel what you feel.
Just go with it.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, be curious, you know.
Yeah.
Be open to new experiences, like that's all I have to say.
Nice, man, mate. Okay, so we'll do a quick fire round just as we kind of like get towards the end. Is there anything, a message that you want to share to the world to just spread a positive vibe?
Good question. Well, for me, it all comes down to divinity, I would say. Like, if you have any like sense of fear, brokenness, negativity, insecurity, brokenness is, I think it's really a nice word. Like, doesn't feel good, but it's like accurate, I feel. At least in my experience.
Yeah.
But then, if you find this, at least for me, I feel this divinity is such a strong force in the universe, in the cosmos, in the whole of existence. So if you find this and you have divinity, God, connection inside yourself, to yourself, you will start to honor yourself and honor existence. And you will have no doubts about like was this an accident where we are right now? Is it like a just like, accident? Is it just some simulation? Is it some bad whatever? You will have no doubts. You will just be blessed,
Just be on the path. How would somebody get to that divinity then? Like you, again, what would you say? Practice meditation for 10 minutes a day? How would I find more of my divinity? Because I love it, but how can I get more of it? And I don't mean that in a way of like just for somebody on the beginning of their path.
Wow, good question. Just I don't know. Many things come to mind, but like seeing the divine in everything. If you love cars and football, that's God.
Yeah.
If you love yoga, that's God. If you love women, that's the pure goddess,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. By trying to make a connection, maybe you can pray, meditate, finding your own way to connect with the divine,
I love that because it's not everybody has to be a yogi and everybody has to
Exactly.
meditate. There's so many
No.
different paths to the same. Like you can
Yes.
journal, you can go for a swim and just sit in nature. And Antonio does qigong. It's kind of there's a path for everyone, right?
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying at all that, okay, all the guys out there go do asanas.
Yeah.
Like, do what you want, be free,
Yeah.
do whatever.
I think that is the purpose of this podcast, is a sense of freedom. I think there's like 4 keys to
Yes.
freedom: mental freedom, emotional freedom, this kind of spiritual freedom, and obviously this essence, the freedom from whatever we call the universe or God or the divinity. And I think if you just really find those 4 freedoms in life, you've just got such a wonderful adventure ahead of you, right? And not that it's easy,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
always going to be
yeah,
there, but I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
what we all crave, really. Freedom from this voice that's always going on, judging us or criticizing, maybe freedom from the emotions that feel so like overwhelming, and then freedom to just, spirituality to me is like express yourself and wake up, and then freedom to like, yeah, what you said, just trust, like everything is God. And those 4 keys to me are just so beautiful. Like I want my life to always checking in with them. Not perfect, but
Yes.
coming back to them. Okay, where do I feel trapped or blocked?
Yes. One thing comes to my mind also when you ask, like, where to start.
Yeah.
So I feel like start with the body.
Yeah.
Like if you want to culture like a positive way of living, start with the body, because how you feel in your body is such a huge thing,
When you say
And-
start with the body, what do you mean? Like exercise or practice? Physical?
like do anything that's comfortable for you to feel good in your body, Like maybe it's good to read like Rig Veda, Bhagavad Gita, like any spiritual text, but it's here. So just practice with what you have right here,
Yeah. You're feeling this as well, Antonio. It was amazing. I keep seeing Antonio agreeing and like, having a little nod every now and then with what you say. I'm just like, wow. We just close our eyes for the rest of the podcast and just feel what Rami's like sharing right now. It's nice.
It's amazing. Like last day of my 6-week retreat, and I'm right here. Like I feel aligned,
Yeah. Back to that conversation, like when we was in Delhi Devi, we must have spent 30 minutes maybe or long.
Maybe hour and a half.
Was it
even,
that? Wow, it felt
maybe
like that.
Hour, maybe something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
We just had a lovely conversation, but it's more, I don't know, sometimes we're having the words, but it's more the energy that we can feel. You can just,
Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
so when you say the body, I get it. It's like, oh, feel what you've got here, start from there. And also maybe trust the next step will happen, and then the next person will come into your life, or the teacher, or the book. You kind of like start from here.
Yes. Yeah, from this, a lot of things come to my mind. Like when people think about like, what should I do for living? My job, or how to find a partner, where to live, how to progress in my life. Start with the body. Like if your energy is higher, you attract higher things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do that.
I love it. I think one thing that we're writing about in one of our books is just using the words spirit and pure, like what I found over the years is the more I've polluted myself, I take full responsibility, whether it's drugs,
Yes.
energy drinks.
And same here, a lot of
movies.
drugs,
Yeah.
energy drinks, everything.
I felt so disconnected and out of the, I was in the body obviously, but it was kind of like not comfortable, wasn't happy. And the more, again, I still eat my chocolate and stuff like that now.
Yeah, of course.
But the more, but I don't drink and take the drugs, and it's like, I'm a lot more mindful of what's going into my brain, into my body. And I can honestly say it's just a very beautiful buzz. It's like, oh, wow, I feel more pure. For want of a better word, I'm not...
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I get it.
You get it, yeah. I think that's what I feel sometimes from other people like yourself.
Such a different feeling. Also, I used to take a lot of drugs, live way more like a different lifestyle, But I felt that it just made me to live more in the mind.
Yes.
And to believe the mind and just really, I don't know, just not so fresh.
Yeah. When you say the mind, do you mean... I've got a theory. Let me share a theory with you.
Yeah.
There is the individual brain or the programming that your parents passed to you from their parents.
Yeah.
Or society in the movies that you've watched.
Yes.
And the way your friends treated you, or girlfriends and boyfriends, whatever, at school. So there's this individual identity, which is life then really is all the stories and the worries and the fears as we grow up. It's kind of like being triggered by all of these programmings.
Yes.
Through the practice of meditation, so people say that's like my mind. And I'm like, that is part of thinking, it's programming. But I feel like the mind is so beautiful. It's like this big universal consciousness, the totality.
Yes.
And again, I can only say from my experience, when you close your eyes and you go to that mind, you're like, wow. You really realise then, oh my God, I'm not all of that. And it still goes on for me. It's like, I'm like, but that isn't me.
Yes.
And then there's this real mind.
Yes.
And
that's a big thing to share to the world. If someone is not aware of this,
Yeah.
Because it's so liberating to free yourself from the thinking mind or the conscious mind and sit back in the, maybe, I don't know what word you would use, universal, maybe consciousness, witnessing mind. Yeah, it feels like the witness.
Yeah.
It's the one that is there somewhere, I don't know, somewhere here I feel it, I don't know, but it sees everything.
Yeah.
It's always there, unchanging.
Yeah.
But then all the other stuff comes and goes.
Constantly changing. Is that what you practice in your tantra? These are the kind of techniques, or through all different modalities? Is this what you're sort of kind of going to?
Definitely.
Thanks so much for watching our videos and being part of the tribe. We're really here to raise consciousness, ignite your vibration, and help you master this monkey mind. And did you know that science has proven over and over again that one of the fastest ways to reprogram your mind is through positive affirmations and things like these Bodhi beads. They're a set of 108 mala beads that go round in a ring like this, and you practice positive affirmations to reprogram your brain. Science has also proven in a 30-day study that if you say the same affirmation and use a set of beads, then you can literally, neurologically, change the pathways in your brain. Now that means any of those limiting beliefs that you've got around money, around love, around health, you can change them if you repeat a certain affirmation that I am wealthy, I am loved, I am healthy. And that's why we've created a set of 8 powerful meditations where you do one meditation every day with me personally for 30 days. And you use your beads in your hand, and each time you use the affirmation, you roll your thumb and your finger around on these beads. These meditations are videoed, or you can download the MP3s, put them on your phone, and literally go to bed at night time rolling your Bodhi beads. These Bodhi beads are handmade with love in Thailand by a local family. We ship them free to anywhere in the world, and plus we donate 10% of all of our profits to an elephant sanctuary here in Thailand. So click the link below, make sure you sign up right now, because we're actually going to give you a 20% discount code. All you need to do is when you go to the checkout is type in I love Bodhi, and that will give you a 20% discount on your first purchase of Bodhi beads. Have an amazing day. Now you can get back to the video. See you soon.
One major part, I feel when we do the long asana practice, for example, we do it with our eyes closed always. Like
the physical practice.
yes.
Oh wow.
From the beginning to the end. Like
Do you ever
usually.
peek? Do you ever kind of open your eyes and cheat?
I never. Sometimes by accident, I really like hold my eyes like pretty lightly. So sometimes some light or glimpse comes, but then I try to put it a bit more so I can fully concentrate, because they teach us that like this eyesight is such a strong sense.
Yes.
So everything that you see is input to your nervous system. So it affects your practice. So when we close, we have one sense closed, and we always want to go like within, you know. But I don't know what I was saying.
I was asking if the practice, the meditation, what you practice kind of takes us to that witnessing.
Yes.
You saying it was one.
So when we are there, like really relaxing and letting go, we also say a lot like let go, surrender, meditate in your zero state. And so there, when you are there, you see your mind doing this, or the thinking mind, conscious mind.
Yeah.
And we say, or the teacher says that, like, drop your conscious mind. So in the beginning, usually, when you lay there, you see your thoughts coming like really much and stuff like this. But little by little, when you really breathe deep and you relax, more space starts to come, and then you are just more in the presence, like witnessing presence. But sometimes the whole practice goes for me like just like thinking about my next, like what I'm gonna eat, when I'm gonna go there, oh my god, why did I say this thing like yesterday? So sometimes the practice don't go so good, but
I love that you said that, because I mean, some people sort of think, oh wow, you've got everything together,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, sometimes I close my eyes and it's just like barking at me.
Yes.
And it just, I feel, and there's sensations in the body. However, with that said, it's nice to have the awareness of, oh, okay. So I learned, I think I read it in a book, and it's like there is never a good practice or a bad practice.
Yes.
It's just the practice.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to show up. You are like, fuck this practice. Like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the bar, like whatever. But usually at those moments, also when you show up, when you didn't want to, then it's like you go a bit further, you know. You face some resistance, you know. But a lot of resistance and pain or hardships also with the practice, like not just like, oh my god, everything is orgasmic, like no,
I'm a yogi now and I'm free. It's all
good. Nah. Good to share
it's
this
lovely.
side as well, you know.
It's lovely to be honest, you know, because sometimes you can be like yoga teachers or gurus or people that look like they've got it together can be put up on a bit of a pedestal. And I'm like, we're all still human. So we've all got some kind of thoughts or stuff going on.
Definitely.
And I really never want anybody to ever listen to this thinking that, you know, it doesn't matter where you are on a journey. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Whether you're a teacher teaching thousands, or whether you're a young man that's just in prison right now, or a young man going through a heartache, or a young woman trying to look after your children or something like that. Wherever you are is exactly where you're meant to be, and that's where your journey can like begin at any moment. And I always feel like I'm a complete beginner. Like I feel like when I woke up today and I was meditating, it's like it was busy. I was like, oh, that's okay. But I'll always get up and do it again, because like you said, that to me is the practice more, is the consistency. And I think it's more of a way of life. I don't know about you.
Definitely, like consistency. Like maybe my first, maybe even 3 years of this practice, I wasn't consistent at all. Like first I started, I was super fascinated. I practiced a lot, maybe 6 months or something. But then like my yoga card expired. Then I was like, okay, it costs quite much. Maybe I don't have to do it. Life will still be good. Then maybe 6 months go by. I'm like, fuck, I don't feel good. I gotta go back. Then I do it again, and the same cycle repeated actually many times. Then after sometimes you realize that you gotta keep it consistent, otherwise you lose the benefit, you know. And it has been like not so easy to keep it consistent.
I love that.
Still is. Still is.
Consistency is the key. A lot of people talk about compound interest when it comes to business and finances, and I love business and money, and
Yes.
a lot of people talk about, you know, compound interest. Start saving £100 a month now, and in 20, 30 years you're going to have a lot of money because it compounds. I think of meditation like that.
Yes.
It's my
Wow.
it's my compound interest.
Investing in the soul.
Investing in that and your mental health and your spiritual, emotional health, and you start it now, where would you be in 10 years? Like, I never could have looked back and like now thinking, wow, a young man started meditating in a prison cell and now he's here with you
Yes.
20 years later. But that is compound interest. And like you,
Wow.
you come off the path 1,000 times and then you find it again. But it is just more about showing up and being consistent, whether it's a good practice or a bad practice. It's just, but the practice becomes the way, if that makes sense. And again, still
Yes.
completely learning.
Yes.
But it's fascinating to hear that you kind of went through similar things. Because I get a lot of people ask questions like, oh, you know, Brett, I've really fucked up.
Yeah.
I was meditating and everything was going well, but now I've gone out drunk. I'm drinking again.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that
yeah.
is the path, Lo.
Yes.
Like the fuck up is the path. Like
Yeah.
you're going to get back on it. It's a real big fuck up if you don't get back up
Yeah.
and try again. But that
Yes.
I just want to share that with people as well, because you've just said it. I know I've had that experience.
Yes,
I'm
I
sure
relate to
Antonio,
that,
We can all
yeah.
go through it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, mate, amazing. I am so great. I could talk to you for hours, bro.
Yes.
I could probably just like close
3,
my eyes.
4 hours,
Yeah, we could
live
just kind
stream.
of meditate. Yeah, just go in the zone.
Go to the beach, come back.
Yeah, just leave the camera rolling. So yeah, no, really appreciate it, mate. And your main message to people, I felt like, was kind of like, you don't need to force it. Surrender and come
Yes.
back to your body or come back to the self
Wow.
and
Yes.
connect.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
amazing.
Be curious about what is this life? Who am I?
Oh,
What is my place in the existence, you know?
yeah. If I asked you, who are you? What would your answer be?
This right here. Rami. Just me, you know.
Yeah,
This right here.
that's a great answer. Yeah, lots of people would answer like, "Oh, who are you?" It's like, I'm a mum, I'm a dad, I'm the job, I'm a banker, I'm an author, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
wow, it's just now. I'm
Yeah.
just all of this.
Yes.
And I still don't know what all of this is. All right, bro. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, do you have like an Instagram people can follow you or reach out if they've ever got any questions about
Yes.
going on the journey?
Yes, I would love to like get feedback, get questions.
Yeah.
I will answer for sure.
Very lovely of you.
So Instagram I have,
Yeah.
it's RMFRQ.
RMFRQ.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe you can put it in the
Description.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody is interested, that anything resonated from this conversation, Rami is a very beautiful soul. I can see it beaming. Ask him any questions, reach
Thank
out to
you,
us
man.
and to him, and just know that this journey is so wonderful. It's so beautiful to be able to open up, and I feel like we're going to be friends for a long time, and we literally just met a
Yes.
week ago.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's amazing. It's kind of like, again, with the cameraman, we met a long time ago through somebody else, and now we're here. I think those little connections are so important.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're going through anything, if you're struggling at home, reach out to anybody.
Yes.
And get on this path, because it is the best buzz in the world.
Definitely.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much.
Hello viewers, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it just as much as we enjoyed making it. We love this adventure we're on, we love growing this community, and we would love you to actually help us. So I've got a favor to ask you. Make sure that you subscribe below, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and turn that notification button on, because that actually helps us with the algorithm. In other words, it's going to help us reach more people and spread this ripple effect. And I really appreciate your time and energy for watching any video. So if you've got any comments or questions or queries, make sure you pop them in the box below. By subscribing, you are going to be one of the first people to know when we release new content. If you really want to take your journey and your growth to the next level, make sure you watch this next video and have an amazing day. Once again, thank you so much for your time and your energy. See you in the next video.